back with our next guest, Mr. Peter Seiler. And let me tell you, I am absolutely in love with my intro. It's so cool that my friend was able to hook me up and make it with Christmas music on it. Didn't it come out really great?
Yeah, it sounded awesome.
You didn't expect it because you've been there with the original music and you were thinking it was going to be the upbeat music. I love it with the Christmas music, not going to
Yeah.
lie. But Peter, I'm so excited for you to be here because this is more like a um throwback Thursday kind of deal where we're updating everybody on everything that's happening with you because I mean, I've been blowing up Top Tail everywhere on all of my events. So it's only fitting that, we try to do so even more during Small Business Saturday. But first, before we get into all of that, can you start off by just letting us know who are you?
Awesome. Yeah, and thanks for having me, Tiffany. So I'm Peter Seiler. I am a computer engineer at HP by day, but on the side, I've got this little side hustle with my board game design slash publishing business. And then, so prior to HP, I was a former Marine. I spent 5 years in the Marine Corps. Um, Other than that, I live in Colorado, small town. We got some acreage, got some horses. Uh, yeah, that's me.
He's like, that's it. Well, as always, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank
Once
you.
a Marine, always a Marine, unfortunately. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Some army love out there for you. That's all that is.
Yeah,
No, but I'm so excited for you to be here because, like I said, we're updating everybody on what's new with Top Tail. And this is pretty big news, guys, because Top Tail, when we interviewed you, initially it was still in the works. It wasn't even being printed. Well, it was being printed. It just wasn't being shipped yet to
right.
get to you so that you could have hard copies. And now that is not the case, right?
Yeah. It was just over a year ago that I successfully funded the game on Kickstarter. So it wasn't too long after that we had our first interview, and um, you know, I was still working on the artwork. There was still a little bit
Wow.
left to do. So now it's actually in production, and I've got a real life game to sell. So it's awesome.
Guys, it's so cool. All right, so not just that. He doesn't just have hard copy versions of it, but it's available on Amazon to purchase. Guys, I was talking to Peter about this before we went live. I know people tend to immediately jump the gun and be like, hey, stay away from Amazon. You're not supporting small businesses that way. But I'm here to tell you, you absolutely can. When pay attention to Amazon and find where it says alternate shopping methods, if anything, if you're purchasing a specific product. But, if you're going for top tail, or you're going for, I don't know, small biz highlight gear, you could absolutely support a small business because that's who is posting that on on there to be purchased. Right?
Yeah, and you can get some awesome merch from Small Biz Highlight.
Yes, look at he has my shirt. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Oh
with
my goodness.
with Amazon, you're absolutely right. There is small business support on Amazon. There's specifically a program called Amazon Launchpad,
Yes.
and I actually got signed up to be on the Amazon Launchpad. And what it does is they take small, unique brands and they try to elevate them in the platform. So they get you positioned above some of the top dogs in the industry, and put you right at the forefront. So they do help out small businesses. Yeah, it's still online shopping, but I get some of my best margins from Amazon sales. So
I can only imagine. So, for those who are new to the whole Top Tail world, tell us about what Top Tail is, how do you play the game, all of that jazz.
sure. So Top Tail, the OG Volume 1, is the first game in a series. So the OG is just original game, and it's essentially a deck of topic cards, and each card has a different topic at the top, and essentially you draw a card, everybody responds to the topic, and then everybody votes on the top tail. So super simple. The person with the most votes wins the round, and they keep the card as a point. And then you just keep going until you reach a certain number of points, or you just call it quits. So super simple. It's the
Wow.
first in the series. Next year, I'm hoping to do a Kickstarter for Top Tail, the OG Volume 2, and Top Tail Tall Tail. So Top Tail Tall Tail is a spin-off where you could still play it with the OG,
Okay.
but in Tall Tail, you're supposed to stretch the truth. And so you're
Oh,
gonna draw one of these player persona cards, and
okay.
you use that persona throughout the game as a way to stretch the truth, right? You might you might be an astronaut for a game, or you might
Oh,
have
okay. I see what you're saying.
yeah. So there's going to be different elements on that player persona where you use one or more elements in each one of your responses. So it gets a little creative. It's meant to target sort of a younger crowd. You know, Top Tail is all about sharing experiences, and younger crowd doesn't have a whole lot of experiences, but they could sure make them up.
It's a lot of fun in the times that I've used it for networking events, like
Hmm.
and I it just adds a different atmosphere to the world or whatever you're doing in that situation. Just because you know you're not just playing a game, you're getting to know people that, and they end up telling you things because it's a game that they may not have told you would it have been a normal conversation. But
Yeah,
because they want
absolutely.
that card to win the game, then duh, they're going to tell you the story.
Right.
I mean, I think that's why it's so perfect, your slogan that you do with it, that getting to know your fellow human. Did I do that right? Getting to know.
Yes.
Yes. So, that's exactly what you're doing with this game. It's funny. Sometimes it's something like really quirky. But sometimes it's just something that, is typical. Like, what's your least favorite household chore? That may be a simple topic to go over with people, but then somebody might end up having this really awesome story on why it's their most hated household chore, and then you've got this entirely different view of that person just from that story. And
Right.
I think that's the best part about Top Tail.
Yeah, every story you usually have to give some sort of backstory. Like especially with strangers, you're trying to tell people a story. They don't know anything about you. And so you might have to say, "Well, I grew up in Minnesota and, I had three brothers and I was the oldest of these siblings and we were doing all sorts of crazy things, but this is what happened." And so all the stuff leading up to the actual story helps you get to know somebody. And
Yes.
then a lot of, like you said, a lot of the topics aren't topics that come up in casual conversation. So you find out stories that, you would have never heard. And I've even played with like friends and family that I knew forever. And I still hear new stories.
Mm.
I still hear new experiences from them. And that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, especially when you start playing with kids that they may not have as many experiences as adults would have or whatnot, but then they come up with a story.
Yeah.
We all know it may not be the truth, but they still want to play along, get involved. They see the adults and whatnot having fun telling their stories. They want to tell a story, make one up if anything, and
Yeah.
it's all about having the best story. Isn't that right?
Exactly. And it's crazy with kids. They like hearing the adults tell stories or even older kids tell stories.
Yes.
And then they love having the opportunity to have everybody hear them out, right? When it's their turn, they love talking. Or
Oh
most
gosh,
most
yes.
kids, right? So
I think
it,
all
it's
kids. I think all
yeah.
kids love that. I mean, especially when they have people that are all there just huddled around waiting to hear what they have to say. They're like, "Wait, this is real? Oh my gosh." And then they just go to town with it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm so excited because there's the app that's also, so if you can't, purchase right away the hard copy version, he even has an app, guys. An there's an app for that. No, but you could literally sign up for an account. Then you get access to the same cards that we would have on the hard copy game version,
Yeah.
and set up the game where you have how many players. It tells you whose turn it is. It's a pretty cool app, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, with every hard copy of the game, let me get in focus. Every hard
Oh
copy
yeah,
of the game comes with a one-time code. And so after you create an account, if you buy the hard copy, you unlock it in the app and you have all those cards available for forever. So it's a
that's
way to
cool.
play it wherever you go.
I mean, we were even talking about the add-ons for like military
Hmm.
version, and like being associated with someone's profession. How cool would it be to have teachers edition where it's like the craziest things you've heard or seen as being a teacher? I'm sure they have tons of stories. But
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, it just opens up the door to be such an amazing tool to, team build and get people to strengthen their connections at work, at home, and everywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. I've planning on all these booster packs, which the booster pack will be, maybe $5, but a small deck of cards that are occupation specific for exactly what you described. But the beauty of Top Tail is all these volumes, everything can be mixed up and played together. So it's going to be interesting over time, like as you mix and match different volumes, kind of what that brings out in the players.
Yeah, it's so great. It's a catalyst of sorts,
Yeah,
because then you thinking it's a simple game. You're thinking, oh, no worries, I'll just answer the question or answer the topic, tell my story, and be done with it. But then you just can't help yourself. You find yourself just being overtaken by the game and wanting to tell more and more, because you want the card, because ultimately you want to win, but you can't win if you don't have the best story. So, I walked across the street is just not going to cut it. You're going to
right.
want to divulge more as to why you crossed the street.
Yeah, yeah. And once people open up, other people open up, right? It's
Yes.
it's infectious.
I don't drink, but there are times where I think while I'm playing the game, I'm wondering how much more fun it would be for those that do, to get to that point where they're drinking a little bit. Now they're so calm and cool and collected that they don't care what they're saying. I don't even want to start imagining the kind of things that would come out of their mouths at that point. But all around, it's a family fun game, family friendly game, and it's just an amazing tool to have in your house. It's different. It's got nothing to do with, life or anything that's out there in the world that's negative. It's all about what's going on in that room with the people you're with at that very time, and that's just a powerful thing to have, because I feel like that's one of the positive things that came out of being shut down during the pandemic, that we had that time to finally focus on each other more, focus on
Yeah,
who we were as people more, what we actually liked and didn't like versus what we've been telling ourselves we liked and didn't like. But then also giving that time to actually, talk to the people we live with. I mean, life just gets so crazy sometimes. And something as simple as this game, to play around and tell stories about ourselves with the people that we love, it just, or even just friends, it doesn't have to be family members. It could be friends, coworkers, what have you. I mean, a boring night in the barracks and you want to have some fun, whip out some Top Tail, guys. I'm telling you, you'll be educated. You'll be completely educated on the type of people you actually live with versus who you think they are.
yeah, absolutely.
What else is new for Top Tail? Anything else coming up new?
Well, I mentioned next year I'm doing a Kickstarter.
Okay.
It's going to be second half sometime. I haven't worked out the details, but
Okay.
until
So,
then, I'll be doing a lot of play testing, refining the new
yes.
volumes, testing out the whole tall tale dynamic,
Love it.
and just trying to sell the game. So this is meant to build the brand of Top Tail, and it's only the first in a series, so I'm excited.
what are some of the best ways people can support you right now as a small business on Small Business Saturday?
Honestly, going out on Amazon, getting a copy of the game, and probably the bigger thing that people can do to support me is play the game, right?
Yes.
Play it with friends, family, strangers, coworkers. The more people that with games, word of mouth has a really big impact, right? And it's not really word of mouth, it's
Yes.
actually playing the game. And if you can play a game like this with, 10 people, that's 10 possible customers. Um, so yeah, don't just buy it, play it. If you don't like it, hey, let me know. I'll refund your money.
Boo. I'm just kidding.
I I've only met two people that didn't really like it, and both of those people played it and didn't engage at all. Right?
Oh, well, then that's why they
They
didn't like it.
right. They were the ones that said I crossed the street.
I love that he used
So
my example on me.
but honestly, I've played with, you know, at least 400, 500 people at this point. And just about everybody gets into it. Everybody enjoys it to some level. Some people really enjoy it. So hopefully you're one of those.
Awesome. Well, see, that's the best way to go about this, guys. If you want to check out the game, see what it's all about, how it works, and whatnot, download the app. The app is
Yeah.
available in the App Store. Is it Android and Apple?
Yes, Google Play and the Apple App Store, and it's
Cool.
free. So you can play it totally free. There's 25 topics in the free
Nice.
version. And then when you buy the game, you get to unlock all the cards. So I honestly, really, that's the best way to try it before you buy it.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I strongly encourage people to do that.
Yes, take the time. You want to the kids just went to sleep and you want to have a quick game night with the significant other without having to do anything extravagant. Top tail, guys. Super easy. You whip it out, done. Either
Yeah.
the hard copy or the game. The game just tells you, it literally runs the game for you. You put your name in and it tells you whose turn it is. It tells you who got the points because you're inputting that all into the game and then it ultimately tells you who wins. Super easy. I'm telling you. So, as always, I've been reminding you, if you are interested at all for more information, you can absolutely text small biz to 717-760-6400. That'll take you to our main hub page that has all our vendors listed, every single one of them, and a brief little introduction of them and all the links to find them. Please stop by, see more about Toptail, and click away to get to the links and whatnot to purchase, or just look them up on the App Store and try them out for a little bit. Once you've enjoyed yourself and cannot get enough of it, then we need you to tell everybody else about it too. Then that's all. Super easy.
Piece of cake, right?
As always, thank you so much, Peter, for being here. It's always such an honor to have you on, talk about your game. So much fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Tiffany. And I love what you're doing. Just keep it up.
I'm trying. I'm trying. Got a lot of stuff I still have a big announcement. Okay, so I apologize. I was running behind a little bit on my interviews, so I had to delay my big announcement. I promise it's coming. What time did 6:40. Okay, my big announcement is coming. I will tell you guys. I promise. I promise. Bear with me. Trying to be respectful of my vendors' times because they paid to be here. People kind of got to be respectful. No, but honestly, they deserve their time, just like Peter here and everybody else, to talk about their business, and that's why I'm doing this. All right, so with that, I will leave you with your friendly reminder, as always, to put your communities first by shopping small and supporting local. Have a great night. I will be right back with my next guest.